it to me, I'm worth it. Baby, I'm worth it. I'm worth it.
Yeah, baby. Ay, I want you to be mine again, baby. Ay, I know my lifestyle is driving you crazy. Ay, I cannot see myself without you. We call them fans down, girl, you know what we do. I go out of my way to please you. I go out of my way to see you. And I want you to be mine again, baby. Ay, I know my lifestyle is driving you crazy. Ay, but I cannot see myself.
Give it to me, I'm.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a collab video for you, and this is actually with a lovely girl called Morgan. We've spoke quite a few times now and she's absolutely lovely and she's amazing at makeup. She's recently just started her own YouTube channel, so we decided to do a video inspired by date night. Even if you don't have a partner and you just want to go out with your friends, put a little bit of makeup on, do your hair, just make yourself feel good really. So yeah, we decided to do this inspired date night makeup look. Morgan decided to go for a more sort of sultry look. So she's done a sort of pink eyeshadow with a nice pink lip, and I've decided to go sort of quite dramatic and smoke it out a bit. So I've got a dark berry smoky eye, which is slightly winged out a bit. And we did also include our outfits in this. I decided just to show you a quick clip of me doing my hair, as I didn't really do anything to it. I just like straightened it and made it a little bit more voluminous. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to go check out Morgan's channel. Also don't forget to subscribe to her channel, as she's so lovely and you won't be disappointed. Please carry on watching if you'd like to see how I got this look. I look so white right now, like this lighting is washing me out completely. So to start off, I applied a face mask this morning just to sort of help clean out my pores and make my skin all nice and fresh. And the face mask I used was by Avon, and it's the Clear Skin Pore Penetrating Black Mineral Mask. And this is really nice, especially if you have sort of larger pores or you find your skin gets sort of quite clogged up with makeup. So yeah, I applied that this morning. And also if you're going on a date night, you want your skin to look as nice as it possibly can. Just applied that. I have got like some breakouts around like this area here, but that's why I applied the mask. So for moisturiser, I used my Simple Cleanser Skin Hydrating Light Moisturiser, and I just applied this all over my face. And then for primer, I used my Makeup Forever Step 1 Equaliser, and this is the mattifying one. I really recommend this primer, especially if you have oily skin, and I just applied this down the sort of centre of my face, like around my T-zone area. I haven't applied any on like my cheeks or anything, as I'm going to be going in with another product. So to actually start off the tutorial, I'm just going to be applying this L'Oreal Lumi Magique base, and this is actually a primer. I've used this so many times on my YouTube channel, but quite a long time ago. I'm just taking 2 pumps of that, so I'm just rubbing my hands together, and then I'm just going to apply that around like my cheek area and where I don't tend to get like oily, so just like around my temples and on my cheeks. I'm just going to push that into my skin. This is basically exactly the same as the MAC strobe cream, but obviously a lot cheaper. So the reason we applied the matte primer down the centre of our face is if you tend to get oily, then you want to keep that quite sort of nice and matte, unless you want to go for that sort of oily, sort of dewy, natural look. But yeah, I just like to keep the centre of my face matte. And then I've added this sort of light, sort of dewy primer to the parts of my face where I don't tend to get oily, just as I want that to look really nice and sort of dewy and sort of youthful and pretty. So now I'm going to move on to foundation. For foundation, I'm using my Estee Lauder Double Wear. These are just 2 little samples I picked up from Debenhams, and one is in the shade Toasted Toffee, and then I think the other one is in the shade Cashew. I'm just going to mix them both together to give me the perfect shade, and also to match my neck, as I am fake tanned at the moment and I have no fake tan on my face. So I'm just using the foundation basically to give me a little bit of coverage and to help cover any sort of redness or blemishes, and also to match the colour of the rest of my body. I'm then applying that with the damp beauty blender, and I'm just going to spritz a little bit of my Makeup Forever setting spray on that, just to prolong the wear of the foundation a little bit longer. I'm just mixing them two together on the back of my hand. So I filled in my brows and I've primed my eyes, and I've also applied a base shadow on top. So to prime my eyes, I obviously use my MAC Painterly Paint Pot. I'm sorry I use this in literally every single makeup tutorial, but it's literally my favourite eye base. I am running out, so I think I'll probably go for like soft ochre or something next time, as I think soft ochre has more of a sort of yellow sort of undertone, whereas Painterly is more sort of a pinky undertone. So yeah, I might go for soft ochre next time. Let me know in the comments which is your favourite eye base. Then for my base shadow, I actually opted for a different one this time. Instead of using my MUA matte eyeshadow in the shade Fudge, I actually used my Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit, and I used the shade Vanilla and Banana, and I mixed them both together to create a really nice base shadow. Also, in case you're wondering, I used the Benefit Browsings for my brows in the shade Dark. So as we've already got the base shadow applied, I'm going to be applying my transition shade. And I'm actually using an eyeshadow from the brand Natural Collection today. And this is in the shade Milk Chocolate. I've also heard someone say that this is a dupe for MAC's Soft Brown eyeshadow. I'm going to be applying that in my crease and slightly above my crease with my MAC 217 blending brush. I'm using a slightly darker transition shade today, as we are going to be using quite sort of berry and purpley toned eyeshadows, and this has more of a sort of purpley undertone to it, I'd say. I want this to look as seamless as possible, so I'm just building up the colour until it's the intensity that I want it. To build up my crease, I'm going to actually be taking a blush. Now this may seem a little bit funny to some people, but you can actually use a blusher as an eyeshadow if you didn't already know that. And the blusher that I'm going to be using today is by Makeup Geek. So this is Makeup Geek's Secret Admirer blush, and this is more sort of a cool tone pinky shade, but it has more of a sort of purple undertone than pink. So I'm just pushing my brush into the product and just tapping off any excess, and I'm just applying this into my crease. Notice how I'm holding my brush differently, whereas normally I'd be sort of holding it like that. I'm actually holding it with a sort of tilt, just so it gives more sort of precision in the crease there. I'm just sort of tapping that on the outer part of my eye and slowly blending that in. Okay, so once you're happy with that blending process and everything like that, I'm now just going to move on to my Morphe Brushes Jaclyn Hill palette. And I know that this isn't available anymore, but all of the shadows in it are actually available separately. So if you type in like Jaclyn Hill palette chart online, it will actually tell you all the numbers of the shadows if you want to buy them individually. And they're literally like $2.29 each, so a bargain. So I'm just taking this mauvey sort of dusty pinky shade, and I'm just going to apply this into the crease just to deepen it up a little bit more. I'm just using the same brush. I'm now just taking a tapered blending brush and just blending out any harsh lines. I think with this look, it's quite sort of easy to recreate, as you're just sort of building up the colours. You're not doing like a really intense like cut crease or sort of black smoky eye. You're just sort of using really nice sort of pinky purpley tones and just sort of building it up really. So I hope it's easy to recreate for some of you that maybe are just sort of starting out with makeup or starting out using eyeshadow or anything like that. Okay, so now going back to my Morphe Brushes palette, I'm going to be taking this bright, vibrant pink up the top. And this may look a tiny bit scary at first, but once you blend it in, it's fine. And I'm just taking that on a small pencil brush, and this is from eBay. These are the brushes I use all the time, and they're always from eBay. I'm looking to purchase some new brushes, so leave me your recommendations and your favourites in the comments. So yeah, I'm just literally taking this and just dotting it on the outer part of my eye. And then I'm just slowly blending that into my outer crease and just slowly blending that in. I'm just slightly flicking the product up just to help it blend in a little bit better, as you don't want it to be like one big chunky line. And then just taking my MAC 217 brush again and slightly blending out the edges into the shadows we previously applied. As you can see, that looks a lot better and a lot more blended. Okay, so next I'm just taking this dark sort of wine plummy colour, and I'm just applying this on the outer part of my eye in a sort of V motion. So what I like to do with shadows like this is I like to dot it on the outer part here, just so we've got most of the pigmentation where we mainly want it. I'm just dotting it there, and then again I just slowly blend that into my outer crease. This will just help give a lot of definition to the eye. Again, slowly blending that upwards. Just slightly flicking my brush. And I know this looks really messy at the moment, but we're just going to blend it all together and clean it up with concealer afterwards. Okay, so now for my lid, I'm going to be taking the e.l.f. Professional eyeshadow brush, and this is a sort of flat eyeshadow brush, so this will really help pack on the pigment. And I'm going to be taking this shade here, which is a little bit lighter than the previous shadow we just applied, and I'm just going to apply that all over my lid. Again, I'm just doing this quite sort of messily, nothing really fancy, as we're going to clean it up at the end. Just taking that all the way up to my crease. I then just taking my blending brush again just to make sure there's no harsh lines. So I'm just going in with a little bit more of that shadow on my lid just in case we lost any of the pigmentation due to blending it out. Okay, so now all I'm going to do is take some of this shadow here, and this is a really deep purple with slight glitter particles to it. And I'm just going to take this in the centre of my lid, and I'm not using a brush for this, I'm actually using my finger. I'm just packing some shadow on my finger, and as you can see, you actually get the best pigmentation when using your finger, as the warmth of your finger really helps warm the product up. So I'm just applying this to the centre of my lid. I'm then just grabbing my e.l.f. shadow brush again and just blending the edges out. And I just think that gives a nice pop of shimmer to the eye, but nothing too sort of intense. Now all I'm going to do is take Blackout from the Naked 2 palette, and I'm going to be applying this into my outer crease just to define the eye and help bring the whole look together. Taking that on my pencil brush and slowly working that into my outer crease. Again, please ignore this eyeshadow fallout, it looks awful. I just think with the black added, it just helps really define the eye and pull the whole look together. And I think black and purple eyeshadows work really nicely. Flicking my brush up again. Okay, so I've highlighted underneath my eyes and set that in place with the banana shade from the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit. I then also took a little bit of the NYX Wonder Pencil and applied this underneath my brow bone just to help highlight my brow bone a little bit more, as the shadow was pushing up into my brow and that looked a bit messy. So yeah, I just used this. It's basically a concealer but in like a pencil form, and I literally just run that underneath my brow, and then I just blended that in with an angled brush, and I just sort of pushed the product up into my brow slightly, but not right into my brow, if that makes sense. So I don't know if you can tell, but in my inner corner it looks very dark, and it's a little bit too dark than I actually want it. So I'm just going to show you how you can sort of lighten it up a bit and make it not look so sort of dark in the inner corner. So all I'm going to be doing is mixing the vanilla shade and the banana shade from the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit. Just mixing them both together. Then I'm just going to slightly apply that in my inner corner. And it just helps lighten it the tiniest bit. It doesn't obviously make it really stark white in there, but it just really helps to sort of soften the shadows. Then I just take a bigger brush and just slightly blend any excess. But underneath my eye, I'm not going to be taking every single shadow that we applied on top. I'm just going to be taking the more sort of deeper shadows. So I'm just taking that hot pink again, and I'm just applying that on my lower lash line. And I'm just placing it where it meets with the sharp line. I'm not taking the pink too far in, as I just want to keep the darkness on the sort of outer part of my eye. I'm then taking that deeper plum shade, and I'm just applying that on top. But I'm not taking that as far in as we took the pink. Just focusing that on the outer part. Then to finish off the lower lash line, I'm just taking Blackout from the Naked 2 palette again. And again, I'm just focusing that on the outer part. Where the shadows meet at the top and the bottom, I'm just sort of drawing almost like a dot and just wiggling my brush and then just slowly blending that down. And that's the eyeshadow complete. Now for my brow bone and my inner corner, I'm going to be taking my new Baby, which is the Becca collaboration with Jaclyn Hill Champagne Pop Highlighter. And this is literally like my new obsession. Like, how beautiful is that colour? It's absolutely amazing. I didn't really get to talk about it much in my previous video, as I was in like a hurry, as I was getting ready for a interview with Urban Decay, and it was my first time using it, but I'm in love with it. Like, look how pigmented that is. Focusing that on my brow bone and then just applying that to my inner corner as well. I'm now just curling my eyelashes, and then I'm just applying a little bit of liner. I'm not applying a wing, I'm literally just doing this just to help my false lashes blend with my natural lashes a little bit better. I always find them easier to apply when there's a little bit of liner on. So the false lashes that I'm going to be applying are the Eyelure 212, and these are actually new from Eyelure. So that's the lashes applied. I'm now just going to coat my bottom lashes with some mascara. As I've already highlighted underneath my eyes and set that in place, I'm just going to cream contour, and I'm just using my Makeup Revolution The One blush stick in the shade Matte Malibu. I use this quite a lot, but it's literally the best thing ever. I'm now just bronzing up my skin with my MAC Give Me Sun Mineralized Skin Finish. I don't think that will ever change. This will always be like my favourite bronzer ever for warming up the skin. I'm now just going to be setting my contour in place with the Maybelline Master Sculpt Contour Kit. And mine is actually in the shade Medium Dark. For blusher, I'm going to be using my Makeup Geek Secret Admirer blush that we used on the eyes earlier. And I think even if you went to do like this eye look, I just think that pink blush just looks so pretty and girly on the cheeks. I just think it's absolutely perfect if you're going on a date or if you're just going out with your friends. I just think it looks really nice and really girly and pretty. For highlighter, of course, I'm going back to my Champagne Pop, which I used on the brow bone and the inner corner. And I'm just taking an e.l.f. Professional bronzing brush to apply that. Then I'm just setting my brows with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel. For the lips, I'm not going in with lip liner or anything. I'm just going in with a good old YSL lipstick. And obviously, if this isn't in your price range, you obviously don't have to use a high-end lipstick. You can use whatever you have at home or something similar to this colour. It's just your everyday sort of nudie pink lipstick. I was going to use Myth by MAC, but I left that in my boyfriend's car, and yeah, he's at work, so I can't use that. I'm just using my YSL Beige Tribute No. 10 lipstick, and I absolutely adore this. I just really do not like the smell of it, as it's very perfumed. So I'm just going to apply that. To set that all in place, I'm just using my Urban Decay setting spray.
Yeah, baby. I want you to be mine again, baby. I know my lifestyle is driving you crazy. I cannot see myself without you. We call them fans down, girl, you know we do. I go out of my way to please you. I go out of my way to see you. And I want you to be mine again, baby. I know my lifestyle is driving you crazy. But I cannot see myself without you. We call them fans down, girl, you know.
So thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. And as I said, please don't forget to go check out Morgan's channel and show your support and subscribe to her and like her videos, all of that jazz. I'll leave her links in the description box down below, and also all my other social media links are in the description box as always. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and you'd like to see more upcoming videos from me, and I will see you in my next one. So thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.